Okay, I'm gonna break all the rules of YouTube here. Normally, when you make a clickbaity title like the one that I've made, you're supposed to sort of draw everyone in, keep them waiting, and then sort of reveal the answer a little bit later on in the video. But I'm gonna give you guys a big spoiler right now, so if you don't want to know the answer to this, plug your ears. But it's you. You are the most valuable lucid dreaming teacher that you will ever have. Look, there are a bunch of us here on YouTube, writing books, teaching courses, speaking at seminars, running workshops. There's loads of us now that are trying our best to help teach other people to lucid dream. And you can learn an absolutely absurd amount of information on lucid dreaming now. And I have always recommended to people to use as much of this information as possible. As much as it would be in my best interest to tell you guys to just watch my channel on repeat all day, every day, I want you guys to watch other channels as well, to visit the various lucid dreaming groups and websites out there and to experience what each one has to offer. Take in this wealth of knowledge that is available to you, but do not, and I repeat, do not forget the most valuable resource that you have, which is your very own mind. Your mind is the thing that is creating your dreams, lucid and otherwise. When someone, whether it be me or someone else, is teaching you about lucid dreaming, there are some things that are fairly set in stone about the way that dreams work, but you have to remember that I am teaching from the perspective of how my dreams have gone, and someone else is teaching from the perspective of how their dreams have gone. And on top of that, I then have the experience of students that I've worked with, and they have the experience of people that they've taught to lucid dream as well. But what none of us have is a look inside your head. Every single individual is going to have some unique quirks to the way that their lucid dreams work. If there's anything that I've learned from working with various people and teaching them to lucid dream, is that everyone is very, very different. Something that is basically a useless technique for one person might be the technique that gets someone else lucid every single damn night. That's why nowadays when I coach someone, I spend some time at the beginning experimenting, seeing how they respond to different techniques. And then once I hone in on the things that are working well for that person, I will focus all of my energy onto that, even if it's something that I normally don't advise people to do. If I see that this person is having better than average results with a particular technique, then of course I'm going to keep recommending that technique to them. And it's because of these differences from person to person. There's also a major goal of mine to help people discover how to create their own techniques and how to find the techniques that are right for them, rather than just giving them my favourite technique and hoping that works for them. Because otherwise, if I did do that, then there would be a lot of people who would miss out because that's not a technique that works well for them. So now that we've established that people are different and it's important to know yourself, the question is, how do you exactly know yourself? How do you become your own lucid dreaming teacher? Well, the first piece of advice I have for you is just to absorb a lot of the knowledge that's out there, like I said earlier. The more knowledge that you have available to you, the better ideas that you yourself will be able to come up with. The mind isn't very good at coming up with brand new things from scratch, but what it is very, very, very good at doing is synthesizing new ideas from two separate, seemingly unrelated ones that you've heard. So give it lots of knowledge. Imagine that your brain is this plant that you are feeding nutrients to. The more good information that you give it, the more good nutrients that you're giving to that soil. And then that soil will be able to grow some fantastic ideas for you. Speaking of great nutrients to feed the soil that is your brain, this video is sponsored by you guys and by my book, The Lucid Dream Book. This complete guide to lucid dreaming will teach you not just where to go when you're a lucid dreaming beginner, but it will teach you all the way up to an advanced level what you should be doing as a lucid dreamer. You will get all the techniques you need to find the ones that work for you as an individual. You will learn everything from how to perform different reality checks to how to create your own persistent dream worlds. And by the end of the book, you'll not just be a proficient lucid dreamer, but you'll be someone that can be your own lucid dreaming teacher, capable of teaching both yourself and even others how to lucid dream. If you'd like to get your hands on the book, there should be a link in the top right hand corner, or you can go to gum.co/theluciddreambook. That's gum.co/theluciddreambook. There'll also be a link down in the description below. Anyway, let's get back to the video. The next thing you need is to write things down. Use your dream journal, and don't just use it as a log of your dreams and nothing else. Actually use it as a tool for experimentation. When you want to try out a dream control technique, write down that you've tried it out that particular night in your dream journal and write out what the results were, you know, how effective on a scale of 0 to 10 it actually was. And then do this each time you try out different techniques, and over time you'll get a written record of the things that do and don't work for you. Similarly, I highly recommend using a digital dream journal so that you can easily search through it and you can tag different things. You can tag things like dream signs in your actual dream journal entries themselves, but you can also tag things like a particular technique that you've used, the time of day that you decided to try to lucid dream, or how many hours into your sleep that you used a particular technique. For the longest time, I've relied on various dream journal applications to keep my dream journals in, but I'm actually intending very, very soon to make a switch to the app called Obsidian, which is basically the app I use for all of my desktop note-taking on my computer. And that's because it's very, very easy to search things, to tag things, to link things together, to create charts from data over a period of time, to have templates for the kinds of notes that you want to have recurring regularly. If you guys would like me to do a video about dream journaling in Obsidian once I actually get started with it, then let me know and I can do that for you guys. Because that's been something that I've been thinking about doing when I actually get started. So have a digital app that you can search, that you can track data in, and track as much data about your lucid dreaming experience as possible. And my third piece of advice for you is to experiment, experiment, experiment. Don't just try out the techniques that you think will be the best for you, because while it's true your intuition might guide you pretty well, that's only some of the time. Sometimes your intuition is going to be off and you're going to think, this technique, this sounds great, this is going to be the most amazing lucid dreaming technique for me. You're going to try it out and it's going to be complete rubbish and it's not going to get you anywhere. On the other hand, you try out this technique that just sounds stupid, you know, you have to do something that makes you feel a bit silly, it seems like a bit of a ridiculous technique and you don't really want to do it, but you try it out one day and it works first time and you keep trying it out and it keeps working for you. Lucid dreaming is a bit like that. There are going to be some things that you discover that work really well that aren't what you would expect to work really well. So experiment, experiment, experiment. And what I recommend here is trying out techniques multiple times and tracking the results over a period of time in that digital dream journal that I've recommended you have. Track those results, keep doing those techniques, and then try another technique for the same length of time and compare and contrast how well each one did. And last but not least, my last piece of advice for you for being a great lucid dreaming teacher for yourself is to not just experiment with existing techniques, but experiment with making your own. Now, I don't recommend doing this right away if this is your first lucid dream ever, but even once you've had a few lucid dreams under your belt, try out new ways to do things. Like come up with an interesting way for how you're going to fly in a lucid dream. Or come up with an interesting means of transportation from one location to another, something that you haven't heard of anyone else doing before. You will find that you'll come up with a lot of the same ideas as other people, because you'll come up with an idea, you'll think, wow, that was a great idea that I had, and then later on you'll see that someone else did exactly the same thing as you. But that's good, that means you're on the right track into coming up with good, repeatable ideas. So to summarise what we have learned today, every person is different, and so as well as learning from other people, you are going to need to learn a little bit from yourself. The best thing that you can do to learn from yourself is to track as much as possible, which I recommend doing in a digital dream journal, to experiment as much as possible, and to come up with your own techniques. Now, if you would like to see me go into more detail on some of these individual aspects, then let me know which one you'd like to hear a little bit more about down in the description below. Anyway, thank you for watching. Make sure you subscribe and enable all notifications so you can stay up to date when our new videos come out. And if you want to keep watching, check out one of the videos on screen. Go watch that and I'll see you there soon. Take care and have some awesome lucid dreams.